Hi, I'm Nixon, Man United fan, and this is Midnight Boxed In. I'm surrounded by 11 fans who are going to argue against the statement I make. And boys, you just can't argue against this one.
Get him off.
And my statement is Ronaldo's 07-08 season is the best individual campaign we've seen in the Premier League.
Good one.
I'm Louis and I'm a Chelsea fan. First of all, I'm not going to dispute, I think an overall campaign in my lifetime, I think it is the best I've seen. However, in the Premier League, I've got a player that's played for Chelsea that's done better. He's got a player at Liverpool. They've had players at Arsenal. West Ham, not so much.
Dimitri Payet.
Do I mean, could argue Dimitri Payet? There's players
No, you
that
can't.
had better campaigns sat here
Let's
right
not take
now
the piss here.
who can all argue and dispute that in the Premier League. Every single one.
If you want to look
so
at,
tell me why.
If you want to look at solely the Premier League, then
Well,
there's an argument to make, but you can't just ignore the
so
fact that there was other competitions, that you won the Champions League, that you won the Ballon d'Or.
What's the statement?
So the statement is it's the best individual campaign we've seen in the Premier League.
Okay, so why are you talking about other things then?
But you can't just ignore everything
can.
else that's happened. You can't.
Well, I can.
You can't.
Well, I
you
can.
can't.
The argument is the
you know
Premier
what?
League.
And do you know what?
I
And do you know
didn't
what's funny?
ignore it.
And do you know what's funny? And do you know what's funny?
Go on.
Even if you want to ignore everything else and just look at the Premier League,
Yeah.
there is a very good argument to be made that he's still well in the conversation, even if you ignore the fact that he won the Champions League
So
Ballon
you're
d'Or, which is
arguing
wild,
your
by the
own
way.
case.
But still, 31 Premier League goals, PFA Young Player of the Year and PFA Player of the Year,
Okay.
which I think only Bale has done. Phil Foden's done it? Phil Foden and Gareth Bale, the only other two players that have ever done that. So even if you want to ignore the other stuff, which is wild because you can't, he's still well in the conversation. So then do you ignore the fact that he won Ballon d'Or as well? Is that just...
What's your argument?
In that season, a player in the Premier League...
In the Premier League?
Yeah, but
let's talk about the Premier League.
But you can't ignore everything. The Champions League, it's all part of it. It's all part of the same season.
It's not part of the Premier League,
but it's
though,
all
is it?
part of the season, though. That's the argument I'm making. In terms of
No,
a
it's
Premier
not the
League
argument
player
I'm
in one
making.
season, and you can't... For me, you can't... If you want to... Then that's a whole different argument.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to make a whole different argument in comparison to the statement that you've already
Okay,
made.
well, I'm including Champions League, Ballon d'Or, all the rest of it in my argument. I'm including all comps, 42 goals, all comps.
Lads, just do me a
For me,
favour,
that's
please.
in the
This
argument.
is
That is in the argument.
ridiculous.
And again.
This
Okay,
is
fine. All right, fine.
ridiculous.
All right, fine. So if it is just Premier League, then
Just
if
make
it is
your-
just
make
fine.
your point so I can
If
just
it
sit
is
and
just Premier League, who's the players you bring to the table?
Okay, let's just go around the room. Thierry Henry, Dimitri Payet, you can make an argument for.
Dimitri
Mo
Payet.
Salah, and Luis Suarez,
Nah, he was top.
Haaland, Yaya Toure.
Don't look at us. Don't look at us. mate.
Ignore this side.
Yeah,
But it's just this side. I've literally gone through loads of teams here who have had players in the Premier League who you could argue have had better campaigns.
You could argue, yeah. You could argue. Although what I will say as well, on the eye, he's better than all those names you listed there.
On the eye?
On the eye, he's better than all those players you listed. He was doing things in the Premier League we'd never really seen before. Let's have it right.
Doing me a favour.
Yeah.
Who was better on the eye? On the eye.
Well, I mean, depends. That's
On the
completely
eye.
Yeah,
opinionated
aesthetics,
thing.
what you like. But for me, what he was doing. Oh, is he off? You're
I'm
off, lad.
off. It's
Fair
fine.
argument, though. Fair argument.
I'm Kim Qatari, I'm a Man City fan. Go on, quickly. Summarise your argument. Summarise your argument.
You know, you've had my argument.
So stats,
on
the
trophies,
eye,
on the eye, Ballon d'Or.
What were the stats? What were the goals?
31 in Prem, 42 all comps.
31 in Prem.
Yeah.
That's less than 36, isn't it?
What, Erling
We agree
Haaland?
with that, yeah, Erling Haaland 2023.
Yeah.
So Erling Haaland got more goals in the Prem,
Yeah.
got more goals in all competitions, won the treble, and completely transformed the football team.
Is there anyone here who genuinely thinks Haaland had a better one season than that Ronaldo season? Genuinely.
Sorry, I don't...
It's just a silly argument.
How is it
I'm
a
sorry,
silly
it's a silly argument.
I don't understand how.
It is a
sorry.
silly argument. It's
Hold
a
on.
silly argument. No,
Hold on,
it is.
hold
It
on.
is a
So
silly
we're
argument.
talking
Because we're
stats.
talking. Okay, you're
talking stats.
Yes,
right?
but you're just.
So the stats were better. We're talking trophies. Trophies
Is
were
the
better.
player better? Has anyone ever said to you?
Is that your
has
argument? Is that your argument?
But it comes into like, it's not my single argument, but it's a part of the package argument, if you like.
Your argument is who has had a better individual season. Well, the stats are better, the trophies are better, his transformative effect on the team is better. So it's better.
But he was.
He
okay,
didn't do step overs, to be fair. He didn't do as many step
That's a
overs.
part of it, bro.
So
That's
you're
a
right.
part
No,
of
no,
it.
the
That's a
step
part of it.
overs.
Ronaldo played
wins expected step
across the
overs.
front line, played a style of football that, again, I go back to, we'd never seen in the Premier League. That's like the way he was playing and the efficiency at which he was playing, we'd never seen that
Is
in
it
the Premier
even
League.
better than Salah's best season? I wouldn't say so.
Numbers-wise.
Is it better than Henry's
numbers-wise,
best season? I wouldn't say
I'm
so.
going
If you're
yellow
looking
card.
at all
Kim,
comps,
I
if you're
love
looking
you.
at
You
all
won that
comps, yes, it
easy.
is. Brother, he won
So what's
Ballon
better?
d'Or,
What?
FIFA Player of the Year, PFA Young Player of the Year, PFA Player of the Year, Premier League, Champions League. Like,
Good
what else do
individual
you?
awards. Didn't win the FA Cup, did he? Didn't win the
Yeah,
treble.
because we got
Didn't
sent
win the
off.
treble.
He didn't win the treble.
Didn't
but,
win the treble.
No,
Didn't
but,
score 53 goals in the year.
Yeah, no, Haaland's
Didn't
a
score
freak.
36
Haaland's a freak.
goals in the Premier
Haaland
League.
is a freak.
So that season
That's
was
granted.
better.
No, it
that
wasn't
season
better.
was
It wasn't
statistically better,
He's
and he
not-
won more trophies.
But okay, so do we just
So
ignore
the-
on?
so
Do
the-
we just ignore on the eye then?
So on the eye is your only
Because-
metric.
No, it's not my
It's
only
your only
metric. I've said
metric.
everything
You
else
look
that
better-
also
you
backs
look better
it.
in clips.
I've said everything else that backs it, and I'm saying this is also a point because I agree. Numbers, trophies, accolades, that like
they not
Haaland.
important?
And you know what? It's not that it's not important, but I also have to watch the football with my own eyes and look at this player is a freakish number 9 who is there to do one thing and one thing only. Be in the box. He did it extremely well, of course. But he's given one job and he did that job really well. But he's not an overall better player. He's never been.
That
You
season
can't
was
compare
better.
it.
You're talking
Oh
about
my
who's
God,
an
if you
overall
wanna
better
just
player.
talk numbers, then fine. Yes,
Okay.
in a better numbers season,
get off
fine.
then.
That's
Well
not
done,
get
Kim.
off. That's
It
not
was
get
a
off.
it was a better
I
season.
watch football with my
It was a
eyes.
better
I watch
season.
football with my
It was a
eyes.
better
You have to
season.
watch
If
football with
you're
your eyes.
talking about on the eye, I think Henri's more attractive on the eye.
100%.
Fine, but it's the package, the fact that he won the Premier League, Champions League, Ballon d'Or, PFA.
But the thing is,
PFA,
can I just say,
it's
can I just say,
everything
can I just
together.
say,
His argument,
can
I
I
get
just
his
say,
argument, but he hasn't got on the eye.
Wait,
Huh?
can I just say, let's just talk maths, right? There are 3 things that you're taking into account: stats, goals, trophies, and on the eye. Erling Haaland has more stats, more trophies, and he's less good on the eye.
Didn't win the Ballon d'Or.
In my eyes,
Didn't win
that
the
makes
Ballon
it
d'Or.
2-1.
Didn't win the Ballon d'Or.
Cristiano Ronaldo didn't win the treble. Goals, trophies, more important than on the eye. Everybody in the world would agree with that. Everybody would agree with that.
I don't know
What's
about
more
that.
important to you, trophies or on the eye? What's more important, trophies or on the
I
eye?
don't know.
To be fair, yeah, you've not.
It
Trophies
is
on the eye.
trophies, but the argument is like Ronaldo's a better player. Let's get
But that's
that
not the
right.
argument.
That is
It is a part of the argument.
It's
But
not
he is
a
a
part
better
of
It
the
is a
player.
part of the argument, of course it is.
It's not.
But
A
if you go on
strictly
stats-
Premier League season is what you said.
I didn't say it. I never said that. It's the best individual campaign. He's part of the
I know.
Premier League, but
I know, but
then,
it's
but
not.
then,
But
then
it's
what's the
not,
point of your
though.
argument
But
then?
it's not.
Because you're talking about the treble.
No,
and-
no,
and so
but-
it's not the Champions. It's
but-
not the Premier League.
Okay,
Then.
Premier League, you got more goals. Your argument doesn't make any sense.
It
Your
does
argument
make a
is
lot-
it's
it
the
does
best.
make a lot of sense.
Your
It does
argument
make
is it's the best individual season. It's not.
It is.
Haaland's was better. Henri's was better. Salah's has been better. De Bruyne's was better. I'd say Yaya Torres was probably better.
All right, come on? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Like respectfully, and like I rate those players.
Which one of
I
those
rate
seasons?
those players.
Which one of
They've
those
all
seasons
cheated
was
as well.
worse?
What he said.
You're basing it off season. You're basing it
Yeah,
off
off
Can't
the
season.
argue
season.
with
I think he's
it.
won,
Kim,
he's won.
well won.
I'll let Lee come and take it because he's got a player who's a million times better on the eye. Go
Don't
on.
know about that.
Lee Judges, I actually come here and I feel sorry for you.
Why?
You know what I mean? Because you've really just lost every single argument. And I don't know, I'm going to stick up for you a little bit here because Ronaldo is one of the best players, but statistically, he hasn't had the best season. Haaland, as you said there, And then when you go, you did actually say, better on the eye, and there's no one better on the eye than Thierry Henry. Body-wise,
They're different.
No, you can't go around there saying it's different.
They are different.
now,
They are
like,
Get
different.
into him 2-30 now. Come on.
I'm trying to help you out here, I'm trying to give you a
Listen,
bit
do
of
me a
guidance,
favour.
At the end of the day, you've turned around and said statistics. I was rooting for you. I don't like Kim. I don't like Man City. I was rooting for you, but you let that argument go, and then you've gone on. He's better on the eye. You know what I mean? Most players are better on the eye than Haaland. You know what I mean? But you've forgot.
Nah, but it's everything else. But no. But it wasn't just going. Oh, okay. But it's just that he's better on the eye. I've given you all the other points, which are all extremely valid.
And
then he's better on the eye as well as everything else that I've
And
mentioned.
the other thing is, and I don't like to say because I'm a big Ronaldo fan, no one really talks about he was the best in the Premier League. You know what I mean? They always go, he's done his best stuff at Real Madrid.
Yeah, of course.
Arsenal's Thierry Henry. I think most people here, and most of them here, they hate Arsenal, would turn around and go that Thierry Henry was the best Premier League player.
I agree. I agree. Best Premier League player. I agree.
And that's
he
what
had
we're arguing
He had
about.
an unreal 6-year spell, right? He had, you can't really compete with that.
I feel sorry for him because Ronaldo's a great player, but at the end of the day, that damn Kim's sussed you on two, and I'm going to get you with the other one with Thierry Henry because I don't think, stats don't lie.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, he was the better player.
I don't think he had one season though. If you just compare one season to one season,
No, he had 6.
one season that was better than I don't think it. Because even the one where he got 20 goals and assists.
Are you conceding then that Haaland's had a better season than Ronaldo?
No, absolutely not.
What-
Because his argument was numbers, he crushed him, but he's because he came in to do one job and one job only. He was in the box to score goals. That was his one job. Sorry?
Henri's number 21 and 20.
Yeah, I'm not arguing, but he didn't. But in that season where he got 20 and 20, you only won the FA Cup. You didn't win the Prem.
But we're not
You didn't win the
talking-
Champions League. You didn't like all these things count. He won the Premier League. He won the Champions League. He won the Ballon d'Or. PFA Young Player. I keep saying him again and again because I just feel like we're just kind of just
Yeah, but
brushing it under the
what you're
carpet,
saying
like
is
it's
in
nothing. Like
in the Premier League.
I'm
I hear what you're saying.
I'm
trying
saying
to-
as a
you're saying
season,
like, you know,
I'm arguing the season that he had that season while he was in the Premier League is the greatest we've seen.
Yeah, and that is wrong.
It's not wrong, brother. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. And the fact that Haaland is the argument is a bit of a joke.
No, I'm not saying Haaland is the argument. You've without keep going over old ground and that. Statistically, you're saying this, and statistically it doesn't work. And then you're going on who's on the better on the eye. I think if we asked everybody like Henri or Ronaldo, better on the eye, it was Henri. If you're saying to me who's been the best player, then I'm not going to argue with Ronaldo. But it's not what the argument is it?
But again, I go back to one campaign. I understand your argument, but in one campaign, which one campaign of Henri's was better than that campaign of Ronaldo's? Okay, but he didn't win the Champions League.
But
He didn't win the. Why did
Haaland did.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking.
What?
I'm
But you're
I'm
talking about the
Henry
Premier
right now.
League. You can't keep.
But it's
you know,
not
So,
about
okay,
Premier
but
League.
my-
Yeah, can we have a yellow card? Thank you, lads. Thank you.
Get gone, mate.
Get gone. Get gone.
I'm Alex Gilday-Trott, Liverpool fan, and we will never see a more productive front three in the Premier League than Mane, Firmino and Mohamed Salah.
My name's Maz, and I'm a Brighton fan. Hello, mate.
How are you? You right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, mate, yeah.
Good, good. Can you please just explain to me what you mean when you say productive? Is it like we're just going by goals and assists? Is that the only barometer?
Well, there's a bit of everything there. You've got the output, the kind of scary numbers of Mo Salah. You've got the intricate link-up play between Firmino, and then Mane kind of is somewhere in between them both. So I was referring to pure numbers, but we can break it down and do the eye test. We can do the balance of it as well, but I'm going for numbers. So between them all, in 4 to 5 seasons at the elite level of their kind of
it's elite level now.
coupling, it's 477 goals and assists. So 66% of those goals were between each other. So yeah, if Mane sets up Firmino for a goal, it's a Mane assist and it's a
So hold on,
Firmino
so you're
goal
essentially
that go
counting
into
double,
that number.
essentially.
Say there's been like 400 goals.
That's outrageous.
So 300
We can't be having that. So hold on,
What
hold on.
about that
According
is
to my
like
stats,
dodgy?
but
Because if
according to my
Firmino
stats
sets
here-
up Mane,
Yeah.
that's 2 stats that go into the big overall bank
No,
of
but we're not-
that's
no,
an assist.
that's not how-
and that's Firmino's
So
goal.
hold on. So hold on. So hold on. So in that, no, hold on.
At the minute, you're not giving me anything that has beaten this.
Let me try and break this down. So hold on. So would you count that? Let's say in a normal season. So let's say Ronaldo scores and then he just gets one of that. Like if he assists, he gets one, counts to his tally, and a goal. He doesn't get counted for 2. So why are you counting it?
I
When
don't understand what your question is here.
No, but essentially you're counting the stats double.
But we can do goals.
No, I
we
get-
can
I get
do
that.
goals as
Okay,
well
but-
if you want.
He said, no, it's not, because he said they contributed to.
We can do the goals argument. We can do the assist argument. What do you want to do?
All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. Carry on.
Regularly, they deliver between 50 and 70 goals per season across the 5 seasons.
Okay.
The level of the output is unheard of. It's unprecedented in the Premier League. Firmino will get you 15, Mane gets you 15 to 20, and Salah gets you 30 to 35, plus all the assists.
What's their best season, like individually?
I would say 17-18, they all scored double figures in the Champions League season alone. Of course, this is the Premier League.
Yeah, I thought the whole argument is Premier League.
Okay, but Mo Salah gets 32 goals in his debut season,
Right.
which is actually higher than what the last argument was. But as a trio, I go back to my statement. We will never see a trio like that in the Premier League ever again.
For example, right?
How many titles did they win in that spell?
I'm talking about production, output.
No, I
goals
hear
and
that. That's
assists.
fair enough. Yeah, that's fair enough. You're not talking about in terms of
Because
trophies
we got
won.
to a Champions League final, we lost
Where
the
was your
Champions League
defence?
final. That's not the statement, mate. What are we doing here?
No, I agree, yeah, no.
Lovren
That's
and
got nothing to do-
Skirtle,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
we're not doing that. So in this period, Salah gets 189 goals,
Yep.
92 assists, 281 GA. Mane, 90 goals, 30 assists, 120 GA.
Incredible.
Firmino, 82 goals, 50 assists. 132 GA. 66% of their assists were to each other. So when you talk about connection, green line chemistry, it can't be beaten.
What are we doing? Playing FIFA?
Whoa.
No, but let's go on to the eye test.
You get about
as well.
60. Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. Do you think they were better to watch than
Yes.
Rooney, Tevez, Ronaldo?
Yes, in my opinion, yeah.
In-
If you look
in
at some
what
of the
way?
assists Firmino was given to Mane and Salah, the little back heels, if we talk about on the eye, he's my favourite player to watch on the eye, Bobby Firmino. 338 goals, 139 assists for each other. That's as an attacking system in terms of output, goals and assists,
It's incredible.
and on the eye, and big game moments. It just doesn't get beaten. Yes, we can talk about Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo. Yes, we can talk about Sané, Aguero, and Mahrez or Sterling.
Yeah.
But in terms of like a 5-year stretch where all three of them are
See, this
barely
is where it's tough to
ever
argue, yeah.
injured as well, by the way.
No, this is where it's tough to argue because obviously you've got the longevity, whereas the other three didn't play together as
So
long.
my statement was across a 5-year period where they're all together.
But you got
output
wider
wise,
sort of years to.
but
obviously,
that's a
sample
good
size.
thing. That's why I'm doing this
Right.
argument, because it can't be beaten. You're saying, oh, using the 5 years. Well, they were together for 5 years, so I don't think that can be beaten ever in the Premier League.
Boys, do you want to? Any danger, lads? I've been in here long enough. All right?
Typical him, innit? He's put up a thing that no one can argue like. You know what I mean?
Isn't that the whole point of this fucking show?
If you say down the camera now, no one can argue against a front three, so I'll change the statement to trio just for the content.
Yeah, go on. Go on, have some
Still
bollocks.
good though, AJ.
Have
He's
some
still got an
bollocks
argument,
about
man.
you. Go on.
All right.
Yeah.
Because what I brought to the table is literally unarguable and it defeats any argument that I'm going to face here, I'll go from front three, which is what I started off with, to trio, just to make it a little bit of a fairer playing field for everyone.
That's very kind of you, Alex. It's very well done.
My statement is there'll never, in the Premier League, be a more productive trio than Firmino, Mane and Salah.
Very good. Alex, do your skills now. This is it. Come on, you can do this.
Hello, I'm Louis. I'm a Chelsea fan. You're going strictly on stats, right?
I mean, we can do stats, we can do eye test, up to you.
And
What do
it's
you
a
want to
trio.
do? Well, they were a front three, but I'm assuming you're going to come at me with something that isn't a front three.
No, I'm coming up with a trio, which is what the statement was.
Okay,
In terms of a trio, you said 4-7-7, right?
correct. Trio.
Lampard, Drogba, and Terry have 470.
Yell her up. Come on, mate.
And they've won Premier League titles, more than one. They've won several.
So you're counting John Terry as someone.
Highest scoring defender in Premier League history.
I love John Terry, but that's a yellow.
Highest scoring defender in Premier League history, more than David Unsworth.
I mean, if that's the road you want to go down.
That's the statement.
I mean, across how many years was this?
Several years.
Several years.
How many years?
More than 5, but still.
But you were praising them for staying for 5 years, so you have to give him credit for a decade.
Longevity.
Yeah, I mean, out of it, if you're using John Terry in this, who would you have considered in an attacking role to make up that three? If
Steve
it isn't
Sidwell. He got 1 goal.
That's poor.
He was number 9.
Steve Sidwell. So Lampard,
Belarus.
Lampard, Drogba, Steve Sidwell. Is that what we're doing?
No, he said Lampard, Drogba, and Terry.
Right,
Take
as a
him
trio.
apart on Steve Sidwell, just for the bants, because that is ridiculous. That is
The fact that John Terry's getting involved here shows that my argument is
Is
a
it a
very
trio?
strong one.
Is it a trio? Is a statement a trio? What's a trio? What's a trio?
He's done you here, AJ.
What's a
You're a
trio?
bastard. for this, though. Trio is
Still not as good on the eye,
It's a
though,
three.
Alex.
John
It's not as
Terry
good as
loves
on the
them,
eye.
to be fair.
3 people,
3 people, yeah.
right? Okay, a menage a trois.
Yeah.
Right. So with that, those 3 have scored more goals and won more trophies. I rest my case. Please, can you leave? See you later. Go on, off you go.
Not cheated, though. Not cheated, which has gone
He's
on
really
record.
not killed
They
me.
have.
He's
Asthma
really not
pumps.
killed
It's
me.
gone on record.
Sorry, mate, but you.
So how many assists did they give each other?
I've got those numbers in front of
You
me
don't have
right
them,
now.
no.
I can get the assists up overall. How many they gave
Unless
each other,
you've
I
got
couldn't
it.
tell you.
Mate,
There.
come on, you've got to fight for it, Al. Fight for it.
I mean, look, you can try and find an angle if you want to try
You
and
said
defeat me.
I just
but
did.
for my statement, Mane, Firmino and Salah as a threesome across 5 years in a front three, because that's the positions that they were, the most productive positions that you'll find on a football pitch. Those 3 will not be beaten for eye tests because unbelievable to watch.
Right.
The Gergen press that Jurgen employed, had us going from defence to attack in split seconds. And, in terms of output, I'll say it again, 50 assists for Bobby Firmino alone.
Great.
What Mane did, yeah, there was a bit of friction sometimes between him and Salah, but that's why they were so good, because they pushed each other on.
But they didn't get as many goals and didn't win as many trophies.
Sure, but I'm talking about...
Okay, so that's the argument.
It's not the argument.
Is it not?
It's not the argument,
It's
mate.
most
You know
effective
the
trio.
argument.
It's
Well,
most
we
effective
changed the
trio.
goalpost about 3 times here. I'm talking about Premier League, 5 years, a front 3. You can say trio. I'd rather say front 3 as an attacking force. In the system that they worked in, across the 5 years, no one beats 477 as a front 3.
Yeah, but the statement was trio.
But you've made it trio to
I've not made it
accompany
trio.
your narrative.
I've not made it. That was your statement.
Saw it on the camera.
So you're saying that you truly believe that John Terry, Frank Lampard and Drogba are a better,
Trio.
more productive trio
Yes.
than Firmino, Salah and Mane?
If it was a 3v3,
Who would win?
Who's win?
Well, I've got a midfielder, a defender, and an attacker. So
Yeah, I
you
think
know,
Which
I
goalkeeper
win.
though?
Petr Cech. We can talk about that as well. If you
Why
have
don't,
to
why
check
don't,
in
why
as
don't
well,
you include him in your three instead of John Terry?
because you know that wasn't the argument that I was making, was it?
Right. Across the season, let's say Lampard would average 18, 19 goals a season. Let's say Drogba gets you 24 goals a season. That's about 45. Let's say Terry gets you about 6. My 3 get you 70.
It's great. How many trophies do they win doing that?
We just said
Effective
this,
output.
mate.
Effective output. The output isn't effective if you don't win the trophies.
Okay, in the period that you're talking
Chelsea
about, name the
cheated.
trophies. And you cheated as well, by the way.
Yes, thank
pumps,
you.
mate.
Well said.
Asthma pumps.
Deflection.
Asthma pumps.
Deflection.
There's no deflections, mate.
Hi, I'm Kai. I'm an Everton fan, and my statement is: by this time next year, Everton will be considered a Big Six club.
Get him off, lads.
I'm not here to argue that we're going to be a top 6 club.
Okay.
But Everton are not going to be a top 6 club.
Why
You know
not?
why they're not going to be a top 6 club? Because of the man you've got in charge of your club. He cannot take you to a top 6 level. He's taken
They
us
did it before.
to a top 6.
It goes Champions League.
Yeah, he got you in the top 6.
And he
But
won
you're
you a
saying
trophy.
A top 6 club.
A Big Six club.
A Big 6 club.
A Big
yeah.
Six club. It's
Yeah.
not
He took a
entirely-
Big 6 club and he made them not a Big 6 club because he failed.
They're still a Big Six club. Man United.
Just about.
Because my
But
point.
when he took, what I'm saying is, when he got to that level, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the same with us. This is why we wanted him out. He cannot take you to that level. When he went to Man United, his level got found out, right? And I love Moisey. I love Moisey more than anyone because he'd give me one of the best nights of my life. But with that man in charge, next year, right? And this is a statement. Next year, right?
Never called him back.
But yeah, you can't get to that level with him. He just can't take you there. Because when he did take a proper top 6 club, when he took, it was a failure. It was a disaster. He cannot get you there next year. I'm not going to say you're never going to be a top 6 club.
I
But
keep
with
saying
that
it's
man
a
in
big,
charge,
Big Six, not top 6. So the
Big
top
6, yeah, Big 6. I'm
the
talking
way
about
I'm
Big 6.
Big Six is more than just
but based on
placement.
what,
It's
though?
financial. Like this new stadium we've got makes 3 mil
Newcastle.
extra per game.
Newcastle are bigger.
can't spend the money they have. We generate much more revenue now. We're on the verge
How?
of getting a record sponsorship shirt deal. We've
Right.
got the naming rights to the stadium. We've got a stadium that makes more money than any other stadiums in the area. We can do extra things like Tottenham have, and that's what Tottenham have got.
What extra things can you do?
You can have
what's
events.
going on in these stadiums?
It's
What's
better
going
than
on
yours.
I'm not going to. It's definitely better than ours. I'll give you that one.
So the thing that's made Tottenham considered a Big Six club is what Daniel Levy did, the revenue aspect, the extra money he's generating. That's the model that Everton are going for without the handbrake on the spending and the wages, because it's all
Go
going
on,
to get put back in.
But they're all going to be doing this now. Once that handbrake gets let off for one, they'll all do it. You know, that's why Tottenham have opened. You've gone to a new stadium. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can get this extra revenue. Newcastle talking about a new stadium now.
Yeah,
Man
but they
United
don't have
talking
one
about-
yet. And my point is, by this time next year, they're not going to build the stadium in 6
No,
months.
it's not going to happen that quick. I'm afraid. It ain't
If
gonna happen
Tottenham
that
go
quick.
down, somebody's going to take it. Somebody's going to be that next, like the 6th team in that top Big
no,
Six.
it'll be a 5.
Nah.
It will be a 5.
Now, because there'll be Aston Villa fans saying the same thing, and the problem they've
But
got is
I don't understand what you're classing as a top 6. They don't have
Big
to be a
six.
top 6. Big. Sorry, I keep on saying Big 6. I keep on saying top 6, but it's Big 6. What class is it? Because it used to be a Big 4,
Yeah.
and there is a Big 6.
And Everton were in that, though.
No, they wasn't.
No, it
Lee.
was. In
They
the
wasn't,
80s, they
Lee.
were a big club.
Yeah.
Stick up for your team. They were a big club in the 80s.
I don't need to.
We're not
History
talking about the
speaks
80s.
for
We're
itself.
talking about now. We're talking about now. If we're going to talk
they've got
about
the
the past,
potential, that's
then
what I'm
Huddersfield
saying.
comes into the conversation.
They've
Then
got the
Aston Villa
potential.
comes into the conversation. And Ipswich comes into the conversation. We're talking about now. They cannot be a top 6 club now.
I think they can. The revenue, the money we've been able to spend going forward is going to propel us up in that aspect.
I think it's too soon, and I don't want to dash your dreams, but in 1 year, you cannot spend that sort of money and create a Big Six club in 1 year. I'm sorry,
I think we
but
can. The stature is there. That we got Grealish, and when everybody laughed at us when we said we wanted him.
yeah,
the
but you can
stature,
put the
that other
foundation-
people
you
see
can put
us.
the foundations down for anything, but it doesn't mean it's going to be built in a year.
As of now, who is the Big Six?
Well, it's the Big 6 is Man United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool.
Yeah, and why are they the Big Six?
I don't know. I don't know, but that's what
because-
Tottenham definitely shouldn't be in it. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, well done.
Men, you're an Arsenal fan. I'm not here to chat about Arsenal. I personally believe your statement falls completely when you say by this time next year, because there are teams that have been getting Champions League for multiple years, right? We say that's the reason Tottenham are in it. Aston Villa have been getting Champions League. Newcastle have been getting Champions League. These guys are already ahead of you in the queue. So what makes you think in this time next year you're going to just jump ahead of all these guys?
Okay, so So, Newcastle, Aston Villa. To be able to spend money, it is dependent on their performance because Villa have got the highest wage to turnover ratio out of anyone. Newcastle are bottom half right now. Everton is different because our revenue is going to come from commercial things,
So
like the stadium,
has
like
that
the
got to do with
sponsorships.
Everyone else, like the casuals, they're not accountants. No one cares about that stuff. In the top 6 thing, it's not just solely about what money you can spend, because eventually the performances have to arrive. And you doing this for one season after, let's say, battling relegation for the last 5-6 years doesn't just make you a big six club. There was a time when people were arguing for Leicester to be in it. They've won the league. They've got an FA Cup as well. They've been relegated. I still have them in the pecking order before you guys to get there, because you haven't done anything to suddenly be in a big six conversation by next year. There's more chance of us saying, guys, Tottenham, off you pop. It's a big 5 now. Everyone keep grinding.
But the
big
entire
respect.
reason, like Tottenham are in the big 6 and they haven't won. Apart from that Europa League, and where they were considered the big 6 before that,
facts.
It doesn't matter what you've won because it's about money. It's about money.
I agree with you, but we're saying that Tottenham are the one team that are on the edge of falling, right?
Yeah.
The only reason they're in here is because they have been fighting in that Champions League area for a decade and a half. You can't in 1 year say, you know what, guys? Yeah, we're big 6 now. You might not even finish literally top 6 in the league, let alone suddenly gazump these guys. I get it. They might get relegated. We can boot them out, no problem. But it's not you guys, big bro.
But where does anybody who is up there, look at the spending, look at the wages. Whoever spends the most on wages typically finishes top 2. Everton will have the capacity to spend more than clubs around them, like Villa. They're operating at the maximum at the minute. So they will fall down eventually.
Okay, so you give me your projections for this season upcoming so that I can understand what you think needs to happen for you to be toxic. So you're going to spend the money, cool, and then what?
We'll get a European competition. That's fairly likely, we agree, right?
As in to play in
3
Europe
points
next
off
season.
Liverpool, any European competition.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
3 points
sure.
off Liverpool at the minute. They're in, what, 5th? That European competition, new stadium, commercial deals, everything that comes with that, it's an attractive proposition as opposed to someone like Newcastle who won't have any European football next season.
So now they can't be involved, despite the fact that they have been playing Champions League football. You can't just bring up any form of Europe. Otherwise, I can just say, yeah, cool. Palace are playing Conference League. They just won an FA Cup. They surely have done more than you guys to be in there recently. We can bring up Nottingham Forest
Stadium.
because they've got Champions League heritage more than
Stadium.
you guys. So because of the stadium, that means you guys are a big 6.
We've got stadium.
What kind of behaviour is that? What is going on here? If that's your argument about stadiums,
Wait for it.
So are Tottenham still a top 6 if they've got the stadium
that's what exactly.
in the
You
Championship?
can't kick them out, but then their best thing is their state. That's all they have right now. And
Well, yeah, it's a big 6 within the Premier League. If they're not in the Premier League, they're not in the big 6, are they?
Yeah, fair.
Oh,
I don't mind them getting booted out.
agree with
I don't mind them getting booted out. I don't mind them getting booted out, but yeah, I don't think you might not anywhere near. Maybe 5 years time or something.
Maz, Brighton fan. So you keep talking about money, and I feel like why is that such a big? To be a big 6, in my opinion, it's like you got to take into account fans. You got to take fan
Okay,
base.
tick.
Okay.
Double tick. that
History.
one. Tick.
What
tick,
history?
definitely tick.
9 league titles.
That's a yellow card.
Trophies.
No,
Okay,
what history?
trophies.
Everton got
I'm
history.
just going through a list.
Keep going.
Let me land. Go
Yeah,
on.
okay.
Yeah.
Tick.
So what you feel? Okay. Then let's say you tick all these boxes.
We do.
But, okay. Are you above Newcastle?
Yes.
Are you above Aston Villa?
For all those things
No,
you
you're not.
take.
So-
Trophies. When was the last time they
But
won a
no,
trophy?
just going back
When was
on-
the last time they
but,
won a trophy?
going off the
And
back of-
answer the question.
What?
When was the last time Villa won a trophy?
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
nobody
they
knows
definitely
because
done it.
they're not relevant.
No, but in terms of the structure, talk about money, you talk about everything involved. Aston Villa just as rightful to be in the big 6 as you do. Why are you better than them, or why are you more rightful to be in the big 6 than them? That's my question.
Okay, so my point is going forward, we're going to have the capacity to do more than them because they're operating at the maximum ability right now. And Unai Emery, if he goes...
So you think in the next year, so you said by this time next year,
Yeah.
you think Aston Villa just going to capitulate? They're just going to run out of money?
They didn't make a signing in summer. That says a lot.
But they're not just going to, not exist anymore, are they?
Yeah, they're above us now, but like, look at the money they've spent to get there.
Yeah, but
Compared
you
to
keep
us.
talking about money.
And look
though.
at the money we're going to be able to spend.
Okay, but so answer the question. So why are you then going to be? Why are you rightfully to be in the big 6? What makes you better than the other clubs that want
Which
to
are the
become a
clubs?
big
Which
6?
are the clubs?
Well, like I said, so who are you replacing? Let's answer. Let's do that actually. Who are you
Spurs.
replacing? Spurs.
Spurs, yeah.
Based on what?
They're getting
17th last
Let's
season.
say they stay up. Let's say they stay up. Let's say they stay up.
17th last season.
Right.
17th
So
right
commercially,
now.
their stadium probably makes more than yours. Do they not? Yeah. Yeah,
we know that?
So commercially, yeah. Respectfully, she's not going to the Hill Dicky, is she?
She can if she wants.
Yeah. Where's she going to go? Spurs or Everton? I don't know. But yeah, so commercially, they make more than you, right? They won a trophy more recently than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then what else do you want to base it on? Fan base, you could argue level. Globally,
base.
big actually probably. Globally, Spurs have got a bigger fan base.
Okay, yeah, but that model, that you're talking about there is proven to work.
Yeah.
That's the model we're doing. And
But
we're reinvesting it more.
But in a year's time is crazy, though. In a year's time is mental.
Mate, in
To
2
do
months
that in a year's
they might
time-
not even be in the league.
Who? Spurs. No, let's say hypothetically they're not going to get relegated.
They're
Let's
not
just-
going to be.
let's just
I
say-
think that hands up who thinks they will get relegated.
Who getting relegated?
I think
Oh,
they
let's
will.
hope so, yeah.
No, but do you actually think it's going to happen, though? It's not about hoping.
Yeah.
Do you think it actually
Yeah.
will?
Yeah, they will.
Look, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue that Everton aren't a big side. I'm not going to argue against that. But to be part of that big six, I just think you're ready. Yeah, again, to go to Nicky's point, I just don't think in a year's time, that time frame is just too short, in my opinion.
Can we have Big 7?
Yeah, if you want to fit the narrative, Big 7,
Mate,
you can
Big
have that.
7 was my childhood. We got nothing for finishing 7th when I was when we finished
But so you genuinely believe that in a year's time you will be part of the big six? Do you actually?
Yeah.
Hand on heart.
Yeah.
That's mental. Right. On that note, thank you so much. I think my point proven.
I'm Louis, and I'm a Chelsea fan. I noticed you spoke financial.
Yeah.
So how well are you knowledge of the Deloitte Money League?
Deloitte Money League.
Yeah.
Enlighten me.
So Everton are 24th in the Deloitte Money League globally, 13th or 14th in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Quite significantly.
As of when? When?
This year.
Financial year.
Yeah.
We also recorded a record turnover.
That's great.
And this stadium was not accounted in that. That makes 3 million more than Goodison Park did per game.
3 million more than Goodison Park per game overall, with a gap that big between 13th and 14th compared to
And you
the
fill it.
big six.
Tell him you fill it and all.
Yeah. Okay. You're looking at previous stats. I'm talking about going forward this time
So
next
things
year.
that don't exist.
Things that don't exist.
Currently, yeah.
You could argue don't exist about anything in the future. Tomorrow doesn't exist.
Mate, listen.
Should we talk about it?
I could have a 6-pack, but that's not going to happen anytime soon.
You could
is it?
have. Okay.
Listen.
If Spurs-
Let's do it as a metaphor.
yeah.
Let's do it as a metaphor, right? Everton could be a big six club, right?
Will.
Okay. And I will have a 6-pack by this time in 4 years' time. It's very. It's
Throw
like,
enough money at it and you will.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. Neither of us are going to do that inside a year. Neither of us are going to do it inside a year.
I think Evan have got a better chance, Lou.
Apples and oranges.
You said 4 years, I mean.
He's
Lost for that one.
No, but it's
Get him
like,
up- yeah, that's it.
financially.
Yeah,
Financially, I'm not going anywhere.
You're embarrassing.
I'm not going anywhere.
Mate, you're a grown man.
Also, let's talk about the other club that they own, the ownership group that own
Friedkins.
Everton, the Friedkins, right? They own Roma
Ain't no
as
way
well.
they're prioritising the Serie A club over us.
No, I'm
There's
not.
no way.
What I'm saying is, right, the evidence, because I'm talking about things that exist.
Yeah.
Roma have fallen year on year in that money league.
Serie A have.
Yeah, they have. But the whole point is that the track record, given what's going on in that situation, suggests potentially, given you spoken about expenditure for other sides as well, financially, there could be something that might not work out. There was quite a significant issue with Roma over the past few years financially, obviously, taking into account is the Serie A as well.
Friedkins, no?
Well, I mean,
That's before that ownership group.
I believe it was with the Friedkins as well. So with that situation, and you look at how everything's kind of going and moving and taking those parts into consideration in terms of, as you said, financially, because I guess that's how you fit into the big six, not the top six, but the big six argument. Financially, it is such a long way away to get there within a year, which is what you were trying to argue. Not 2 years, not 3 years, within a year.
My argument to that would be the big six is just something that gets made by a media narrative.
Yeah.
Right? So if Everton continue along this trajectory, bring in big names over the summer with the money that was supposedly got to spend, right? We will be in those conversations, no doubt. With the media
but that's
perception
different.
of it will be big
That's
six.
different. In those conversations doesn't mean that you go into the big six.
You talk about the big six.
You're talking about it. Are they in it? Not they are in the big six, which is what your statement is.
No, they will be in the big six.
Yeah, but that's your statement. So you're basically saying, are they going to be in the conversations, or are they going to be in the big six?
Okay, talk about the big six in a year's time. You'll be talking about it.
Okay. Well, okay, fair enough. Interesting statement.
Top 10 coldest moments.
Well done, boys.
That has been Midnight Boxed In. Let us know who won the arguments. Remember to like, comment, and hype the video and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.